Hi everyone, welcome to PowerShell for Penetration Testers at Pentester Academy. This video is last in the series of the discussion over client-side attacks. So let's see performing some complex attacks with the help of PowerShell scripts. We will see how to use modules. Till now we have been using only PowerShell scripts. We will see how to use script modules. We will also see how to use a client-side attack from within another client-side attack, that is dropping files of different types using a client-side attack. And we'll also see how to run PowerShell scripts with elevation using these client-side attacks. So let's get started. Let's use outward and there is nothing really special in using modules. We just need to provide the URL to the module, the arguments. So the argument here would be a function name. So let's run a really simple one. Let's run get information. And that is it. Note that since get information just shows information on the console, we may not be able to see the output. We can always use functions from PowerPeter like HTTP backdoor, DNS-TXT backdoor, etc., which are interactive in nature. But since we have not discussed those or usage of those till now, we are not using them. So if we open salarydetails.doc now, we will see that PowerPeter.psm1 has been downloaded and executed. So this is a simple example of how to use modules with these client-side attacks. We can always pass, for example, if we were to use HTTP backdoor, we can always enclose its options like this: check URL, its value, payload URL, etc. But let's not get into that right now. So it is this simple to use script modules with client-side attacks. The next one to see is using another client-side attack from a client-side attack. For example, or let's use outchm and from that within outchm we would like to drop a shortcut on the victim. So let's remove all the, so this is an existing shortcut. Let's remove all the files generated by these payloads. So now there is no shortcut file here, and instead of downloading, let's encode the out shortcut and pass it on to the outchm. I already have one modified out shortcut. The only difference being I removed the help so that it becomes smaller. and the function call has been made from the script itself. So that is the only difference. As you can see, what we want is our shortcut should download and execute our Meterpreter. We have a Meterpreter listener on the Kali machine. So let's run another instance. And let's use invoke encode from Nishang to encode this modified out shortcut, and let's use the out command to get encoded script, which could be used with PowerShell.exe encoded command option. So this is what we will use. So let's copy it here. So as you can see, our CHM file has been generated, and now when we run it, there should be a shortcut in this directory. So yes, this CHM was open, and as you can see, this has been generated just now. So we were able to drop a shortcut using a CHM file. Now recall that we wanted it to download and execute a Meterpreter. So if we or a victim or a user opens it, it is downloaded and executed, and we have completely in-memory reverse HTTPS Meterpreter session. So it is quite neat and useful, isn't it? So let me close this. Now, the last thing we would like to see is running PowerShell scripts with elevation. Because in all of the attacks, even if the local user had admin rights on the machine, we did not use any elevation. But what if we want to run a script with elevated privileges? So let's use out Excel for it. In fact, I have copied, I tested it out and copied it already, because there is a lot of manipulation needed to be done with the single quotes and double quotes. For example, we provide this as a payload. We use PowerShell.exe to call start process, and then start process in turns calls PowerShell.exe, and to that PowerShell.exe we pass arguments which are like no exit is just used for demonstration. You can always remove this. So to that PowerShell.exe we pass no exit, and the command, what would be the command? The command would be our one-liner download and execute. Now note how we are dealing with the different codes. If you recall the source code of outXL, this payload passed to the payload parameter itself gets embedded in a double quote. So this double quote is fine, but we need to escape these single quotes. And we need to escape these single quotes twice, so that they are escaped in VBA as well. So in VBA, to escape a single quote, you use a single quote 2 times. Now let's run this. Now if we open our salary details, please keep in mind that we have not done anything magical. So we will have a UAC prompt. So in case of a non-local admin user, a prompt would be with an option to enter username and password. But since we ran this as a local admin, there was just a simple UAC prompt. Let's say yes to it. And we have password hashes for all the local users. And as you can see, the script has been downloaded from this web server. Now let's see the VBA to understand why we needed to use the so why we needed to escape these codes again and again. For example, we needed to escape this so that it doesn't interrupt with a single one here, and we need to escape these so that it does not interrupt with this one. So this is the way we used it. In fact, so that is it for the example, I believe. You can always use this. One last thing is you can read about it more on my blog or on Matt's blog. In fact, the VBA code has been stolen from Matt's work. So that is all for this video and the client-side attacks portion of our exploitation phase. Hope you enjoyed this. If you're enjoying your time at Pentester Academy, please recommend us to your friends and colleagues in the information security community.